Lunchtime, food for thought. If you don't laugh a little, well, it ain't our fault. We got a good recipe and memories, 'cause after all, it's lunchtime, food for thought. We have a big time at lunchtime, food for thought. Yeah.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime Food for Thought this week. And once again, we hope that something is said that maybe you can chew on, think about. If nothing else, at least you can laugh about it and laugh with us and maybe even laugh at us. I don't know. And so this is the lighter side of all of our life, and we've done a lot of different topics and different things, and I guess this is one that we kindly open up more, and you see a side of us that you normally don't see, but we are human, and the Lord said He's come that we might have life and have it more abundantly.
Amen.
And so we don't have to be stick in the muds and all that. We can have a good time. And so I'm Johnny Ivy, and we have with us today.
I'm Nick Keller.
And I'm Judy Bernard.
And so once again, this is our lunchtime food for thought trio. How about that? That might be better than using gang. And so,
That's right.
So this is our trio. So, but thank you for tuning in.
Well, praise the Lord. I'll sing lead, and Brother Johnny's going to sing bass, and Sister Judy's going to sing alto. And we'll have our trio together here in just a few moments. Well, we're going to get started, though, with a round of jokes, and I think it's always great to start off this time with something of humor and something of joke. So, Brother Johnny, do you have a joke for us?
I do. Mom went into her son Eric's room and said, "Wake up, it's 20 to 9. And he woke up, he said, "In whose favor?"
Oh, that's good.
My kids, they struggle getting up in the morning, especially now that summer's commenced. It's a struggle bus right there.
Yes.
How about you, Miss Judy?
I'll start with a knock-knock joke. Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Beat.
Beat who?
Beats me.
Yeah.
I got one for you here. Why was the weightlifter upset?
Why was the weightlifter upset?
Because he worked with a bunch of dumbbells.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's pretty good.
How about you, Miss Judy? Do you have a joke or a riddle for us?
Well, I got another one. A man limped into the doctor's office and grasping his leg said, "Doctor, I was bitten by my dog." The doctor checks it, said, "Did you put anything on it?" He said, "No, he seemed to be enjoying it without any condiments."
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, what do you get when you cross a stream and a brook? Wet
I'm not
feet.
sure.
Wet feet.
Yeah, you get wet feet.
Yeah, every time.
Every time.
Every time. Back a couple of years ago, my boys was playing baseball, and brother Nick, you over at New Hope Ballpark at Field Ford, that little creek runs beside the field.
Yep.
And so before the game started, I was like, Stacy was gone for a long time. I was like, where is she at? And so Brandon had fell in the creek, and so all the way up past his knees. I mean, he was just had his back gloves. So Stacy was in the bathroom trying to use the dryer to dry out his back gloves. And he was pitching that night. He was soaking wet, and it was.
Boys and streams, they just cannot resist them, can they?
Oh no, they can't. That's the day and time to be in there. Well, I got another joke for you. I think Brother Johnny dropped out, and he'll be with us back in a second here. But what do you call, Sister Judy, two monkeys that are sharing an Amazon account?
I don't know. What do you call two monkeys?
You call those two monkeys that are sharing an Amazon account primates.
Primates. Oh, explain in case I don't get it, Brother Nick.
So Amazon has a special account that you can purchase a subscription called Prime. And these would be Prime mates because they're sharing the same Amazon account. But those Amazon accounts will get you if you're not careful there. And they make it so easy for you to shop. You can have something at your front door before you even realize that you bought it.
That's about the truth.
I give my mother-in-law, I just pick at her in love, but she enjoys shopping, and she enjoys shopping even more when she could just do it there at the computer and get it to the house. This past Christmas, the entire garage was stacked full of Amazon boxes.
Oh no. My mother-in-law passed away a number of years ago, but she loved to buy just junk. I mean, just, if anybody came by selling something, she'd buy from them, or especially if you were a student, selling magazines or whatever, she'd buy. And we've often laughed about if she were alive in this day and time, there's no telling what she'd be. How her credit card debt would be.
Oh, I tell you. It can get up there. It was funny. Just the other day, we were sitting down there, and there's so many easy ways to one-click purchase something. I mean, you one-click it, it's charged to your card, it's sent to your house. It's just, you got your phones and electronics where you just one-click and you've downloaded an app and you bought it. And I was, my mother-in-law was looking on her Apple phone on how to make collages. And my sister-in-law said, hey, you got to, download an app to your phone to be able to do it. And she's just looking, and then 2 seconds later, she's like, I just bought something. I don't know what I bought. I just bought something. And we looked, and she bought every single photo changing app. It came like a package of 12 different all in one. And it charges her $5.99 for it. Not per month, not per year, but per week.
Oh no.
Wow.
And in the other room, her husband, my father-in-law, sitting there saying Ellen, what did you do?
Oh no.
So it can certainly happen there as well. Well, Brother Johnny, you dropped out there for a second, so we're glad to have you back there. You got a riddle for us?
Yeah, disappeared. Yes, I do. I run in and out of town all day and night, but I never get tired. What am I? I run in and out of town all day and night, but never get tired.
I'd say roads.
Good job. That's it.
The roads and streets. There you go, Sister Judy.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good
We're
job.
getting a little bit smarter now, I tell you.
Speaking of that, my father-in-law was just the other day showing me a movie that they had just filmed in the city of Dallas, and it's all through the streets there. You can see the Dallas Theater above them, and I forgot the name of the show or the name of the city that it's supposed to be, but they just it was really interesting to watch the city that you would watch the parade in, the cities that you would walk and get ice cream at on a movie. It was very surreal to kind of see that.
That's neat.
Yeah.
But it's because the streets go in and out of those, right?
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got one for you. What when things go wrong, what can you always count on? When things go wrong.
This one's yours, Brother Johnny.
When things go wrong, what can you always count on?
I know it's going to be a simple answer.
Your
Yeah,
finger.
count on your hand.
Your fingers. That's right,
Yeah,
Sister
fingers,
Judy. Your
yeah.
fingers.
Yeah,
I give a visual help.
Yeah,
to
we
you.
have to have it.
yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's like the flannel graphs of H and age, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I've got one too. And mine says, I am a word of 6. My first 3 letters refer to an automobile. My last 3 letters refer to a household animal. My first 4 letters refer to a fish. My whole is found in your room. What am I?
Woo.
You need me to give it again?
Yes, one more time.
I'm a word of 6. My first 3 letters refer to an automobile. My last 3 letters refer to a household animal. My first 4 letters is a fish. My whole is found in your room. What am I? Did
Basket?
I stump you? No. No.
I don't know.
Okay. I stumped you. Okay. The word is carpet. The first 3 letters, automobile or a car. The next 3 letters, or the end of it, is a household pet, an animal pet.
Yeah.
First 4 is a carp, and the whole is carpet.
You got me there. I was trying to be more specific on the vehicle and the pet.
Yeah, I was too. Yeah,
I stumped you today.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Now, Brother Johnny, you have an everyday expression?
I do, and we've heard this. And maybe you've not known somebody, but you've heard this. Filthy rich.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that comes from 1 Timothy 3:3. This is a true saying: if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes on to say, not greedy of filthy lucre. And so there it is, filthy rich.
Filthy rich. Mm-hmm.
Of course, most real preachers are not filthy rich. But we were back a few years ago. My family was on a cruise and we went to the Bahamas, and so we did a tour of the Bahamas. And so the guy giving the tour, he showed us where the preacher lived there, and he lived in a big old castle. He owned all the KFCs. Of course, they called them the Rock. As the KFC's the Rock down there, and he owned all of them. So he was filthy rich, and his house, it was humongous. It's a big old castle thing. He was filthy rich. So that's where that term comes from. So there you go.
Filthy rich.
Think about this. Had a pastor friend of ours. He prayed that Lord would send him a millionaire. And so the Lord did. There's a millionaire started coming to his church, but he didn't tithe. So then he started praying, Lord, send me another one that'll tithe.
Be more specific, son.
Be more specific. That's right. Oh, yeah.
That's funny. Now, Brother Johnny, I appreciate those everyday expressions that you give us. Those are great, great things to see. And isn't it amazing how many of our everyday expressions that people use, even people that don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, all have a biblical reference to it.
Yeah,
that's right.
But just like the laws that we have in the land, all have a biblical reference to those as well, and people observe those laws just the same. So we thank God for that. Now, Brother Johnny always does a great job trying to do his best with tongue twisters. Now, I am nowhere near capable of doing a tongue twister, but I feel I need to say this tongue twister with y'all today. So y'all bear with me and pray for me that I do not say anything that I ought not to say during this tongue twister. And it's going to get very slow, I guarantee it. Betty bought some butter, but she said, if butter's bitter, if I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter, it would make my batter better. Hey, I did that better than I thought I was going to.
You done good.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
Betty Botter, she got us there. So, but speaking of Betty Botter's bitter batter, Sister Judy, you got a recipe for us today?
I do have one today, and this one comes from my daughter Leanna. And every time we have a family get together, and who's going to bring what, everybody hollers, Leanna, bring this. And so it's a tomato pie. The first time we ever had one was down at St. Simon's at the 5th of May. And we all fell in love with it. And so she found the recipe. Preheat your oven to 350 when you're getting started. You're going to need a 9-inch pie crust, and go ahead and bake it according to the directions. 5 Roma tomatoes. And I asked her, well, can you use any tomato? And she said, no, the others are a little bit too juicy. So you need 5 Roma tomatoes. Go ahead and slice them. And you'll need 10 leaves of fresh basil, not bagel, but basil. Half a cup of chopped onions, 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, and 1 cup of cheddar cheese, the shredded kind, 3/4 a cup of mayo, and some Parmesan cheese. So slice your tomatoes and put them in a colander, rinse them, and let them drain real good. And pat them dry. You want them dry because you don't want too much juice in it. Then salt and pepper them and layer them in the bottom of the pie crust. Layer basil and onion on top of that. Then combine the cheddar cheese, the mozzarella cheese, and the mayo. And you crumble that over the tomatoes and the basil and onion, and bake it for 30 minutes at 350, and then top it with some Parmesan cheese, and it is delicious. Our entire family loves that dish.
Oh, that sounds great, sis.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's first time I've heard
tomatoes.
Tomato pie. That's first time I've heard of that.
It's really good.
Tomato and cheese, amen.
Yeah, you can't beat that. That's right.
Now, Brother Johnny, you got a crazy law for us? Because that right there may be against the law type of recipe right there.
And right, yeah. And this is in the state of Nevada. And it's illegal to drive a camel on the highway. That's in the state of Nevada. And have either one of y'all ever rode a camel?
I definitely have not. And would not.
That's an interesting ride. Of course, I've gone to Israel twice, and so we had visited the old city there in Jerusalem. So when we come out of one of the gates, there was a man there had a camel, and you could pay a few bucks and take a picture if you wanted to. You could pay a few bucks and ride it. And so I thought, man, I want to ride that camel. And so I got on that camel, and it gets up with its back feet first. And so it feels like it's going to dump you on your head. And but he gave me a ride almost all the way back to the bus. Wow. And so people said, man, if I knew you could ride it that far, I'd have rode that camel. But in Nevada, it's illegal to ride a camel on the highway.
Oh my.
About how tall is a camel, or the one you rode? About how tall would you say it was?
It was pretty tall. I would say.
You had bird's eye view.
Absolutely. You're probably a good 6 to 8 feet off the ground.
Wow.
I mean, it's tall.
Did it have? Did you have to sit between the humps?
It had that one just had the one hump.
Okay.
And but I have seen some had the 2 humps.
It looks like its hair would be real wiry.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is.
So, but it's an interesting ride.
I bet.
Oh.
Oh, goodness.
Have you got a picture of that?
I do.
You might bring that next week and show it. Since we're on Zoom, you can show us you sitting on a camel. That'd be
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I'll try to get that and have it ready for next week. Yeah.
All right.
That'll be wonderful. Well, I appreciate that so far, and all the jokes and riddles, the recipe, that sounds delicious. But this is an enjoyable time. We're going to have a quiz between Brother Johnny and Sister Judy here, and it'll be a wonderful time for you. And it's a hopefully an easy quiz for you. But I'm just going to pick a few of these questions here, and this one's going to go to Miss Judy. And if Miss Judy can get it, then that question goes to Brother Johnny. So question one, who went, and these are easy nursery questions, okay?
Oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I had a.
All right, sis, you got this. Who went to school with a lamb?
Mary had a little lamb.
All right, Sister Judy got herself 1 point there. All right, Brother Johnny. I'm trying to think of one that would be good for you here. Some
Keep
of these
it in the nursery.
Some of these I don't even know. Who sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie?
Who sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie?
Sister Judy, you know it?
I know.
No pressure, Brother Johnny. Sister Judy knows now.
Knows it, yeah. No.
He's trying to look it up on Google.
No, let me
I'm teasing. Little Jack Horner.
Little Jack Horner. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So this is a different nursery. This is not a nursery category. What is Sister Judy, what is an Italian word for pie?
Are you kidding? Pizza.
Pizza's it. She got it right.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's the only pie I know anything about that's Italian.
Brother Johnny, she's doing this. Okay. So, Brother Johnny, what Australian marsupial enjoys eating eucalyptus leaves?
I know.
Koala.
Koala bear. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Here we go. Miss Judy, which reptile, according to the song, should you have? Let me reread this here. Which reptile, according to the song, should you never smile at?
Well, what's the song? I don't know the song, so I don't know. I'm gonna say an alligator.
Song.
I'm gonna say an alligator. I don't know.
Close. It's a crocodile.
Crocodile. Okay.
But I don't know what
What's the nursery rhyme? Does it say what the nursery rhyme is?
No, it does not. Let's see here. Let me give you one or two more questions here. What is 1/4 of 1,000, Brother Johnny?
1/4 of 1,000 is 250.
All right, Brother Johnny with the math coming in strong.
Yeah.
Sister Judy, last question for Sister Judy. It is 3. Sister Judy's 3, Brother Johnny's 2. What is larger, or what is larger, 50% or 5/8?
5/8.
5/8, Sister Judy. And then Brother Johnny, last questions for you. And I'm just picking these questions at random, so this seems crazy, but I want to see if you figure it out. How many sides in totals would 3 triangles and 3 rectangles have?
3 triangles.
Yep, and 3 rectangles.
How many sides?
Yes, sir.
Okay. A triangle, 3 triangles, that would be 9. And 3 rectangles would be 12
Okay, and total?
total. 21.
21. Brother Johnny got it there. I left Brother Johnny with a good math question there at the
Yeah.
end there. So good job, Brother Johnny. Sister Judy, you won this round. Congratulations. I am going to be mailing you your special prize gift. No, I
Thank
won't.
you very much. I'll be anxiously awaiting it.
Stand at the
It'll be
mailbox
in the mail,
waiting.
sis.
I'll be at the mailbox, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, Brother John, how are we doing on time, my friend?
We've got just a little over 5 minutes.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to go ahead and turn our discussion over to something that probably many of us have not had for a while, and something that I'm craving. I really enjoy these times around the church house. Our church fellowship, or maybe dinner on the grounds that you might have, and we're going to take time to just share some stories about some great times that we've had together. Sister Judy, what about you? What's a memorable event of a church fellowship or dinner on the grounds?
Well, mine's a little bit different from what y'all are thinking. We used to go to a church years ago when we were a younger couple, and we'd have a lot of fellowships with the young couples. And so one day we had them at our house, and so the guys were, men, y'all macho men, y'all are always real competitive and all that. So I decided that we'd have this game we chose 3 or 4 couples, and we were going to let them race and see who could finish eating a caramel apple first. And so the women went first, and we set the apples out there, and men were cheering their wives on. And by the way, you had to do it blindfolded. And so when the women finished, we blindfolded the men. And while they were blindfolded, I switched them from apples to onions.
Oh,
I was mean. I was mean. And here's these 3 guys, boy, they're gonna win. And they take off, and boy, they're just chewing those apples they thought was apples. They were chewing them like crazy because they wasn't even. They were in a hurry. And then they realized that this is an onion. We had quite a bit of laugh over that. That was fun. I enjoy fellowships like that.
Oh, yes.
Dinner on the grounds are always wonderful. A lot of memories.
Yeah. How about you, Brother Johnny?
Well, I was thinking about, of course, my papa, he used to be my pastor, growing up and things like that. And so one time what the church did, they let the men have a cake contest, and who could make the best cake and all of that. So what my papa did, he made the cake, but what he did, he loaded that thing with salt. I mean, I forget how much salt that he put in it. I mean, it was, he just loaded it down. And so, it looked good and all that. So everybody was taking a bite of that cake, and then they take that first bite, and it just like they couldn't do. They're like, you give them lock jaw, and they couldn't chew it, they couldn't say anything, and then they didn't want to say anything because it was the preacher, and
brother.
So Papa, he sat back, and he was just rolling. It was hilarious. Just watching everybody's reaction, and then nobody wanting to say, this is the terrible thing I've ever ate in my life. And it was so funny. We laughed. That was comical.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
That's good time. Every year that our fellowship dinners are always great. We certainly enjoy the time together. Food's great, and getting around and talking with everybody. But the times that I really enjoy are more where a little bit of planning goes in. Maybe you'll play some games. Maybe you'll have some trivia during those times. And that really, really enjoys it. This past year, for right before Christmas, normally the Sunday night before, we'll just have kind of a mini service in the back. We'll give a little devotion. We'll do some couple songs, and then we'll have we'll do the Bible story trivia of the Christmas story from the Word of God, and we'll play games. And I remember this past year we had a older gentleman and a young girl. We gave everybody numbers, and we drew numbers by random for people that had to do these things. And one of the tasks they had to do was eat a 8-ounce solo cup of miniature marshmallows, and then drink a 8-ounce cup of hot chocolate, and whoever could do it the fastest won a prize. And those folks were just doing the best that they possibly could. And the little girl was my little girl, and she was doing her best, but she was sick to her stomach after that.
No. Yeah.
I remember one time at the church shall remain anonymous. During children's church, they brought all the kids out on the sidewalk, and they gave them a banana and a Sprite.
Oh.
And they were having a contest to see who could eat that the fastest and drink that Sprite. And of course, when the two combined, you got an explosion. I would have been, I imagine there were some mad mothers, and those kids were too. But anyway, it was quite a sight to see, if you can imagine.
Oh, I bet it was.
Good timing right before they go home.
That's right.
Perfectly planned.
Yeah, perfectly planned. That's a mess to clean up there later on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Well, guys, I know time has left us, and we hope and pray that you looking forward to get back into your church house and having more social events to help encourage the body of Christ to grow and to have fellowship once again. And we trust that's happening and getting close to happening in your place as well. We certainly appreciate you taking time to listen. Remind you, share this with other people and let them know that we're going to have a repeat of this episode this Saturday at noon. So please listen in, and don't forget to watch us on YouTube and Facebook. We'd like nothing more for you to have those recipes and everything right on demand that you can go to as needed. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm Brother Nick Keller.
Well, Johnny Ivy.
And Judy Bernard.
Well, take care and have a great day now.